Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper, and in this video today I'm going to show you an awesome prep that you can build for $5. This is a portable rocket stove that you can cook with anywhere in the world, anytime. This thing is built out of a pint paint can and a quart paint can. Now I'm going to show you how to assemble all this in just a moment. Now all you need to do to use it is remove the lid on the pint can to put your fuel source in and let the air draw through. The quart can is obviously the cooking area, and the only other thing you need to get and add to that is 4 1/4 2-inch long bolts, okay? And you will insert them in the top of your can in the sections drilled out that I'll show you here in just a little bit. Just like so. You put your lid on, and now you can cook on this surface, boil your water, whatever you need to do. This is an outstanding prep, and it only takes $5 worth of materials. So with that said, let's get started building you one right now. So the first step of this build, we're going to take our pint can, and we're going to cut this open on the back side, just like we would open up a normal can. I'm using my can opener that is hand powered. If you've got a fancy can opener that plugs in the wall, by all means use it. I'm just going the poor boy method for this build right now. So I'll cut this open. I'll show you here in just a second. Okay, now that we've cut the back end of the can out, now this is going to form the tube that will let the fuel pass through and the air draw in. And not only that, but when you're not using it, so ashes and stuff don't fall out into your bug out bag, you can lid this off and close it up, and that way it's sealed off. So here's the first part of our build completed. Now what I've done now is I have took and traced this can on a piece of paper, and what you're going to do is you're going to cut that piece of paper out, and you're going to find on your can the seam line where this is made, and you're going to go exactly opposite other side of your can, and that's where you're going to lean this paper up even with the edge of the can right here, and you're going to put that against it. Take your Sharpie and mark it with a Sharpie, as I'm going to do here in just a moment, and drill a center hole through, and then I'll show you how to cut it here in just a moment. Okay, now at this point what we're going to do is we're going to take a drill with a 1/2-inch drill bit, and we're going to go center of where we've marked out our circle on our can, and we're going to drill through that. Okay, now once you've drilled through your can into the center, you can either take and continue this process around with a smaller drill bit and then take and cut that out as you see fit with a metal cutter, 10 snips or so on. I'm going to take a 10 snips, and I'm going to take and go around that very carefully. You do not want to cut anywhere but inside the line, because this other can needs to go in there and fit very snug, because that's the only retainer that's holding that can into place in your other can. So cut carefully and slowly. Now once that you've cut out your design on the front of this very carefully, what you're going to do now is take your other can, the smaller one, and you're going to take and very carefully insert that and pop it past the bottom seam, and you're going to gently bump this in. Now don't try to beat it and force it in. It'll just be in the front end of your larger can in and make it look ugly. You know, you want to make a good prep and you want to make a quality prep. So if it don't fit very neatly, just file it out a little more or go back around and trim it carefully. But I'm going to pop mine in, and then I'll show you how it looks here in just a moment. Okay, now I've got mine in to place good. Now I had to force it just a little bit right here. The best thing to do is kind of wobble it, and you can push your finger in and kind of help tweak the metal just a little bit. But I'm very pleased with how this went in. It seamed in very nicely. It's very tight when you pull it in, and it slides in tightly, and that's what you want. Now what we're going to do now is you're going to take and very carefully, you're going to measure across evenly, drill you one hole here, and then one back here and one back here, evenly spaced. But you want to do that across from each other. So wherever you start that first hole, make sure you're even across there, even across all 4, the best you can. It don't have to be, I mean, like perfect, but get it as close as possible. And then at that point, all you'll have to do is set your lid on, open this thing up, and light her up, which we're going to do here in just a little bit and show you a demo. Now to drill this out, you want to take a 1/4 inch drill bit and you want to very carefully space it in between the flange. Now don't worry if you bend that flange just a little bit. You can bend it back into place by popping the lid down. It will reseat it. But the main thing is as you go down into that, just start very carefully and don't try to force it. Just let it kind of start itself out and make sure to space them evenly and you'll be in good shape. Okay, now guys, as you can see right here, the stove is cooking, and I know the question everyone is asking is, well, will it boil water? Will it cook your food? Well, I'm going to bring the camera a little closer now, and you can see the rolling boil that's going on inside of the pot right now. I've had this going about, I think, 5 or 6 minutes, and look at that. Oh yeah, I mean, just absolutely beautiful, and I couldn't be more happier. I mean, $5 has just gave me the ability to use some twigs, pieces of paper. I used a few scraps of cardboard laying in the house, and now I have the ability to cook food, boil water, and survive. So with that said, you know, I hope that is a help to you. I hope it's a blessing to you. I really enjoyed building this. I hope you enjoy building yours. And until we see you again here at Seven Trumpets Prepper Channel, I hope you have a most blessed day in Yahushua's name.